your mother? It's time for another episode of Birds with Friends. Just a trio of feathery brethren weathering any season to see the Eagles eat teams like Scrammy's top with cheese. It's Philadelphia. Bo, Sheil, and Zach kicking it. Cooler than 3 penguins till Zach runs off with his valet keys. He's a real nuanced goose. Pull up a branch, get loose. It's time for some juice on some Birds with Friends. The early bird gets the worm, but prefers getting turned like a turn on some Birds with Friends. Bo, Sheil, and Zach coming at you with sets and things flapping their wings on.
They can be like bathing suits. What they, what.
Finish it up. Sometimes you gotta take them off.
What the hell?
What they show is revealing, but what they conceal is vital, right? So.
This episode is presented by BetMGM, the exclusive betting partner of The Athletic. Sign up at betmgm.com using the promo code TheAthleticPod. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Birds with Friends on a Thursday afternoon. Heading into the weekend that could be clinchmas for the Eagles. Bo Wulf, Zach Berman, Sheil Kapadia, Marissa Morris here. Everybody wants to know, Sheil, how you doing?
I want to know from the sickos in the chat, what's the feeling 3 days here before the Eagles take on the Washington football team? Are you feeling confident? You're going to crush those cockroaches down there at FedEx Field and the worst owner in all of sports? Or are you saying, the butt cheeks are a little clenched here? You're not sure what to expect. It could be one of those ugly NFC East games where things go unexpectedly bad all of a sudden, and you're saying, why did I believe in this team? So that's the check in there. And of course, everyone's commenting, Bo, on your new haircut. Did you go see Cosmo? For longtime listeners know who Cosmo is. Longtime readers of yours know who Cosmo is. Or was this a local cut? Of course, it looks great.
Well, I'm not so sure I'd go all the way. Looks great. It's not quite Bielema level like that one I got over the summer.
I mean, I would have to be really some type of jerk to come on here and be like, your haircut. I'm not really feeling it.
I think you could be described as some type of jerk sometimes. That's fine.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah, that's fair.
I try to more.
I would trust you to be honest.
Yeah. I think it looks good.
Okay, well,
I agree. How long were you going there?
What do you mean?
It had been a long time. You had been letting that grow.
Oh,
yes, that's true. I think it was August. Yeah. So, we're not all on the ZB once every other week cut schedule. But let it go. I went to a place, a local place, the same place I went in August. So this was the first return visit for anybody since Cosmo. I still want to get Cosmo back in my life, but he has shut down his. He has retired his actual barbershop, but he's doing sort of on the side cuts for his VIPs. So at some point I will make it back and get back in the good graces of my man Big C and get the really good haircut that I deserve.
When I was living in the city, I went to either the have you ever been to the Chop Shop on South Street?
No.
You're going to get an experience there, going there for a haircut. So I would either go there, and then I found this, I think it was called Tangerine or something. It's right in Washington Square. $11 or something. I mean, what a deal. Yeah, fantastic deal. So I don't know if either of those places still exist, but just in case anyone was wondering, like 10 years ago, where did Sheil go for a haircut? Now you're armed with that information.
Zach, how about you?
I used to go to the King of Shave, or I go to the King of Shave, which is
that inky money. Okay.
AOS.
That's Diego. For anyone listening, that's on 12th and Pine. Good spot. Highly recommend Diego. You can tell him I sent you.
Now, did you get a shave or no?
No.
Have you ever gotten a shave?
Once in my life.
Okay.
Once in my life.
He actually did the hot shave just on the back of the neck today.
Oh yeah.
Outstanding. Nice. One of the best. Love it.
For my wedding, Emily got me, she signed me up for the shave, and I was so nervous. Like I don't know how those.
It makes me very nervous too.
Yeah. So that I'm like, I'm
very easy for this guy to just slit my throat right here.
Exactly. That's
once got a shave on the streets of Mumbai. Well, not really the streets, but my cousin took me for a shave there. That was my first time. That was fun.
Nice.
And then as a groomsman for DFOP CNAS wedding, we did a little morning of, all went to get a little shave.
Love it.
I would say I probably need to be incorporating this more. I like getting the shave.
That sounds like a great
Ospreys next
situation.
year. I'm gonna go. We will all go get a shave before the Ospreys. How about that?
I love it. Right. As we talk about changes in the appearance here, Zach, I don't know that I've noticed the over your left shoulder, Zach's 35th birthday, which has been added to the ensemble.
It was a birthday present from Emily last March, and it's like a newspaper with different things about me on it. So yeah.
And do you like angrily throw it away and say, I don't work for a newspaper anymore?
No, I appreciated the present. It was a nice gesture.
Okay,
I like it. Nice gesture. Yeah.
All right. Well, we've got plenty to get to. We'll talk a little bit about this matchup against the Washington football team, who the Eagles played a week and a half ago, but a much different team this weekend than it was on that Tuesday night. We will have a very important edition of Swooper Soarcasting to get to. If you are in the live chat, make sure you drop in your suggestions. Marissa will pull 3 of those as we get to a matchup in which the stakes are very high. It's anybody's game at this point. Very exciting stuff. And we'll talk about the latest going on with the Philadelphia Eagles. And with that in mind, why don't we send it over to the most handsome 35-year-old in the room, Zach Berman.
Well, respectfully, I actually think I should defer to you here, Bo, because we're allowed one person at practice today among the two of us.
I thought you were going to say because I'm also 35, but
that too. And Bo, for full disclosure for our audience, among the two of us, Bo was the one at practice, and so you got to see Jordan Howard on the practice field. I think the big news coming into this game is the running back situation. Miles Sanders, as we discussed on Tuesday, he's not going to play. Jordan Howard has the stinger, and they're not saying he's out, and you can fill us in on that. But then after Jordan Howard, you're looking at Kenny Gainwell and you're looking at Boston Scott as the only 2 running backs on the active roster. So that's really the big injury to monitor, and then some players on the COVID list right now as well.
Yeah, Jordan Howard was, we only see the very beginning of practice, just sort of warm-ups and the very beginning of positional drills. Jordan Howard was out there. He was not a participant yesterday, so that was a step up. I mean, if he's out there on a Thursday, my guess is there's a good chance he plays. I don't know if he will be the main guy, but I'm not a doctor, and I was wrong about Jalen Hurts a couple weeks ago, but I would guess that Howard plays, and maybe still that Bosco is leading the way. I don't know. Who's to say?
I would give some analysis, but I imagine there would be some Swooper ramifications going on there. So you don't want to tip your hand.
Guy.
Look at you prioritizing Swooper over your responsibility as a journalist to the people.
That's just a joke.
I do have to say, Zach sent his swoopers to me this morning at 8:47 a.m. He was ready to go.
I'm about to send mine right now.
That's late.
Teaser to keep listening. Yeah.
I got up at 5 this morning to write a story to write a story, and then I was going down the to-do list of things I had to do today. And so I'm like, all right, let me knock Swooper out. I believe I sent Bo the bird lines early this morning as well.
I don't have them in my email.
You don't?
Ooh,
no.
Didn't check it off the to-do list.
Wow.
Yikes.
Oh, okay. It's still sitting in my drafts right now.
Wow.
I just clicked send on that. That's not good. Yeah,
I hope you don't have important interview requests that are also sitting in that outbox.
That's a good point. No, so I was up
here. They
right?
are.
Boston Scott. We were talking about that. I do believe Boston Scott will be the top running back this week, even if Jordan Howard plays. And I'm somewhat skeptical because he's had obviously a neck injury in the past. It's been a reason for concern. But I would see Scott. I think you're going to have Gainwell in there. And then I would guess Jason Huntley gets the promotion over Kerryon Johnson. Would you agree there?
I don't know. I feel like it might be Kerryon Johnson. I feel like they're more willing to put Kerryon Johnson out there on the field when it matters than Jason Huntley. And it's actually related to what Sirianni said the other day is what they liked about him was he was so good in like pass pro, which is true. That's what we saw all summer, was that he was very reliable in that role. And I feel like if they're going to need to put one of those guys out there, they'd rather put the guy out there who they can at least trust to be reliable in that sense.
Actually, as we're discussing it, I would definitely agree. I think there's some duplication, if you will, between Huntley and Gainwell in terms of what they do well.
I think that's right. Yeah.
And I think Carry-On, not to say he's like Jordan Howard, but I think he can kind of fill that Jordan Howard role for you a little bit more in terms of the pass blocking.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit of a power game. Sometimes.
I feel like Carry-On Johnson is like, he's got one game left in his body. Like, one game is all he's got left. Are the Eagles willing to burn that one game right now?
Sign him up, right? Yeah, they need one game right now. So,
all right.
I don't think Sheil has much analysis on the fourth string round. Which running back they're going to elevate.
You just reminded me I need to send Marissa my Swooper Soarcasting now. I do think it's a big storyline, their run game. I mean, Jalen Hurts, if he's going on a bum ankle, which, we'll see, it's impossible to predict. But if Jalen Hurts has an ankle issue, which, if he's moving like we saw him move last week, and now you don't have Miles Sanders, and now Jordan Howard is either not playing or playing with an injury, how does this offense come up with enough ways to pick up first downs, to extend drives, to be the offense that we saw be so efficient for most of the season? So I am sending my swoopers. I was listening. And, while most of the time I think your analysis during this portion of the show is, I could care less. I wish I had something else in my ear pods. I think this week it's actually, I think it's, maybe the biggest storyline to talk about with this game compared to 2 weeks ago.
And I would say I said this on the chat that I just had on The Athletic. And of course you can subscribe to The Athletic right now at theathletic.com/birdswithfriends before the end of the year for $2 a month. Get that bad boy in. I am in terms of, can the Eagles keep up this consistency and this efficiency running the ball? I am much more concerned about Jalen Hurts' ankle than I am about the downgrade from Miles Sanders and Jordan Howard to Boston Scott.
Jalen Hurts really did not seem to want to entertain the question that there was any issue with his ankle. He said he's fine. They were good enough to win 2 games. But I do think Nick Sirianni's message the other day, Nick Sirianni acknowledged, like we discussed on the pod on Tuesday, Sirianni acknowledged that they were not playing him the way they were before, but there are no limitations on him now. So I think that's a major story. Jalen Hurts is not the same quarterback when he's not running. They need him to run. And they're 3-4 weeks now post-ankle injury, 4 weeks post-ankle injury if you include the bye week. So 2 games.
I thought he looked a little bit more spry in the Washington game than he did in the Giants game, which sort of makes sense because it was only 5 days later, as opposed to having been off of it for 2 weeks, a little bit over 2 weeks. Now he's got a regular week of rest. I don't know. It's the biggest mystery and I think the biggest factor in not just can the Eagles make the playoffs, but can they be dangerous if they make the playoffs?
Mm-hmm. Well, I can tell you based on, I don't say this as a flex. I say this honestly, based on my Twitter DMs right now, there's a lot of interest in the health.
Friends after dark in the afternoon. Okay.
in the health of Jalen Hurts and
we're getting to the mystery stock early tonight.
Because I think there's a lot of fantasy football championship games this weekend, right? And so there's a lot of people who want to know what's going on at running back. Is Jalen Hurts going to be able to run? I think there's a lot of cheddar, as Sheil likes to say on.
Do I say that?
I
say lettuce.
Oh, lettuce.
Okay,
sorry.
Lettuce,
cheddar. Yeah.
You're halfway to like a nice vegetarian hoagie.
There you go. A lot of lettuce on the Eagles offense this week.
Hold on, I want more on this. So are these like people in the fantasy industry, or are these just fans and readers and followers who are DMing? I mean, I can't remember the last time I got a Twitter DM. They might be closed for all I know.
Yeah,
I believe they are closed.
You gotta be a man of the people, man. Absolutely.
You can find me on Instagram if you want to message me.
Yes, this is if you keep them open, people definitely, and this is both from the fantasy industry and from fans themselves. I never understand.
Did you get one from Jack Del Rio?
No, but
mine have been open before, and there was not a lot of activity there.
I never know how to answer the ones that are like, hey, these are my 3 options this week. Which one do you think I'm going to start? It has nothing to do with the Eagles. And I'm like, I really don't know.
Send him to Jake Seeley from The Athletic. I mean, I believe actually.
Send him to Sheil.
No, I don't. I want nothing to do with them. Fantasy. I didn't even make the playoffs in my fantasy leagues. But Jake Seeley, I believe, for The Athletic, our fantasy guy, I think one of his big things is if you ask him a question in the comments of one of his articles, he responds to every single one.
Yeah, it's
and
crazy.
So he will have these comment threads that are like, 500, 600, 700 comments. So listen, you got to go theathletic.com/birds. You're not going to get a freebie. Just go into Zach's Twitter DMs. You have to subscribe right now. There's a sale, theathletic.com/birds with friends. Then go to Jake Seeley. As you know, I like to pawn work off onto other people. And, he should respond in the comments. If he doesn't, then DM Zach and, let him know that what Sheil promised is not what actually occurred.
On the topic of the Twitter DM, shout out to our listener, Alex. I think it's Bucksbaum. I hope I'm not.
Great name. Love that name.
I'm not butchering it.
Bucksbaum.
Don't change that B for an F.
He messaged me, had 3 books he wanted to sign, would meet me anywhere for it. We met in front of Chickies and Pete's today after I got my
like Alex Bucksbaum.
Yeah, from the Eagles. And he said he's going to be listening this afternoon. I said I would definitely give him a shout out. So
dropping a Bucksbaum.
Very nice. And while we're on the subject of your social media, someone in the chat said they want the story on the sports Indians who are tagging you on Instagram, Z-Berm. So what is the story there?
I want that story too, by the way, because they're not sports. They're not sports Indians. They're just take away the sports. They're just Indians.
Okay.
And
maybe robotics Indians.
I get tagged in these
I don't know about this.
In these threads. I mean, I don't understand what they're writing. I don't understand what's in them.
Is it not in English?
No, it's not. There must be another.
Have my mom translate.
Yeah, maybe. There must be another Z Berman somewhere that they're trying to get in touch with. But I wonder this too because I'll get these alerts.
Wait, so how did somebody else know about it then?
I'm actually kind of curious. I don't know how
they must. They must be on
purpose.
Can
they see when you're tagged or something? So what is the content that you're getting tagged in?
Here, I'll pull this. Yeah, it's stuff in your tagged. So I don't know. I mean, I'm looking here.
Okay.
I couldn't tell you. I'm tagged in this reel from Padmini Pradhan.
Oh, Padmini.
Yeah. I get tagged in a lot of these.
Is there a Bollywood star, that could be with a Z and a Berman?
Maybe so.
Or they saw Zach's eyes. That's it.
That's true, and they want him, to be a Bollywood star. Yeah. They're used to more than nice brown eyes. They thought, let's switch it up here. All right, we have enterprising listeners. Somebody do a little work on this. Get to the bottom of it and let us know before the next show what is going on there.
Sheil, this reminds me, I have a recommendation for you. Now, I know you still haven't taken me up on the movie recommendation that I gave you that I know will come through, but this is a podcast recommendation for you. Just a single episode, the latest edition of Doughboys. You don't need to know anything about the show. It's like a special episode called Man Bites Dog, and it is like one of the best pieces of content I've
really
all year. But
what a compliment!
You in particular are going to love this episode.
Am I going to laugh? Am I going to cry? Do you not want to tell me anything more about it?
I want you to just go in totally.
I look forward to it.
Yeah.
I'll download it later today. Podcasts are easy. I could knock those bad boys out anytime. I don't need to sit there for 3 hours.
It's not gonna. It's also not like the rest of the show. You don't need to listen to the rest of the show. It's just this one off. I think you're gonna be into it.
All right, I look forward to it.
To steer us back to Eagles, the injuries just came out. Miles Sanders did not practice, as we discussed. Jordan Howard officially limited. Those were the only 2 guys with DNPs or limited today. So those are really the only 2 injuries to monitor. And then
Herbig is okay. Wasn't Herbig on an injury report yesterday?
He has a knee, but he was a full participant. And then Derek Barnett's status. Derek Barnett's still the one on the COVID-19 list that is a starter. So pay attention to that. They did get some of their other edge rushers back and reserve offensive linemen back. Kerrigan's back. Teron Jackson's back, I believe. And so, but definitely watch out for Derek Barnett in the next 24 to 48 hours.
Do you have Washington's practice report there, or only the Eagles?
Only the Eagles.
Okay, let's pull up Washington's, as we go on, because they had a pretty lengthy one yesterday. So I'm curious how those guys might be trending. Are we moving? Should we do a break, Bo, or you want to get to your?
No, why don't we? Well, let's save the break for before we transition to the actual game in Swooper. So go.
Okay.
You want to get on?
Well, you wrote a column today, as one of our listeners noted on Twitter. You took my advice for a column. I think I suggested for the first time. And how do you feel about that decision?
I thought it was fine. It wasn't the best piece of writing I've ever done in my life, but
okay. Zach, what were your thoughts on Bo for those who didn't read it? Bo made the case. He didn't say he absolutely should, but he made the case for
I think
Nick
that's an important distinction. Yeah.
Yeah, listen, I thought the first section
strong.
I thought the first section was from like the argument perspective, not the entertainment perspective, but from the argument perspective, the most convincing one, which is where are they relative to their overall?
By the way, this is just Nick Sirianni's candidacy for Coach of the Year. Yep. Sorry, Zach. Right. Go ahead.
Yeah, because really the Coach of the Year, it's often not are you the coach of the best team, it's how much better are you than what the expectations were, right? And so I thought that was a good way of judging it. There were in the third section or the fourth section when he was looking at the other candidates, there was some good humor in there. Some readers appreciated it more than other readers. But I thought it was a good piece, and I recommend all our readers check it out.
Yeah,
just quickly to follow up, Washington has their starting right tackle, Sam Cosmi, and their punter, Tress Way, are on the COVID list as of today.
Ooh, the punter.
Okay. Are you going to tell us the rest of their injury stuff or no?
It's not out yet. It's not out yet.
Oh, it's not out yet. Okay. Yeah, I thought it was a good argument. I think there's an argument that he can absolutely be in the discussion. There's not a clear-cut favorite this year, in my opinion. And so I'm feeling good about my decision to wait to, after week 18, I will come out with my personal awards for the whole season and then my all pro teams, because it's a weird season, first of all.
Yeah. I saw Barnwell had his come out today. So
I did see that. And then, but yeah, 2 games in a 17 game season can be very meaningful. All right. So Rich Bobby noticed my water bottle. I wanted to get to this discussion. So my brother-in-law was visiting. Okay. I think listeners would know any diet trend hydration, as Marissa flexes with her monster mug there. I'm in for trying. And so he walked into the house and had this monster water bottle. And I'm like, what's the deal with that? And he said, I just got it 64 ounces. He's like, you drink 2 of these a day and that's your hydration for the day. And I said, all right, I'm in. That's all I need to hear. And so I went out and I bought, look how big this thing is. It's huge.
I think, Zach, don't you have something like that yourself?
Yeah, not 64. Mine's a 32 ounce.
And so do you have to drink it 4 times?
4 times. Yep, exactly.
Do you drink that much? I thought I was hydrating pretty well, but I was not drinking this much water. I'm up for about 17 hours a day. And I would say
I do not drink nearly enough water.
Maybe like 3 hours are either drinking that water bottle or taking a leak over here in the bathroom. That's all you can do all day. So,
100 ounces a day is that it's a lot, but it's a good barometer to shoot for.
Yeah, so I'm going to see if I really hydrate here. Am I going to be feeling more alive, feeling better? Am I going to see any differences? So again, I'm in for trying like every.
Let me give you another suggestion, another way to go about your day, and that is to just drink exclusively coffee, seltzer, and alcohol, and then at like 1:30 in the morning, wake up and just desperately chug some water.
Well, seltzer counts as water. You're drinking.
Yeah, I know, but not 100 ounces of it.
I pretty much do the first 2 parts of that. I'll do the maybe alcohol like once a week, but so I've been drinking it. This is my second day doing it, and it made me think, Marissa, I want to have Michael Dunn on for a off-season pod where we don't ask him we don't have to ask him anything about the Browns, Baker Mayfield. I want to know like all these sort of
That's a good. I love that idea.
Or things he's learned. He's been with different organizations. He played for a big time college program. Like, what have they told him about hydration and diet? And like, let's say I want to like build up the glutes a little bit. Is he a squats guy? Is there an exercise? Like all these sort of.
You're worried about your glutes?
Yeah, my glutes have been a very popular topic of this podcast. What do you not remember?
I know, but you're worried about them. Yeah.
Always, yeah. You should always glutes and hamstrings. You should always be worried about the health there, as far as I'm concerned. So, I mean, he's gotten all this advice from professionals at the tops of their field. I want to know, what he thinks about that. What do you think?
So I will say one thing: the way he stays hydrated, and a lot of the other guys. I don't know if this is like from the team or this is just a him thing, but he drinks Pedialyte.
Oh yeah, it's a big training camp thing. Yep.
Yeah, like I have to go to the baby aisle of the grocery store or CVS and
get some wipes.
Yeah, it's like very hard to find. Like you'd think it would be it's not with the sports drinks. It's in the baby aisle.
Which color does he go? The orange one?
Oh, he drinks all the colors,
Purple?
but he has a weird preference on the one certain cap. I don't know. Very weird about it, but
I love someone who prefers a certain kind of cap. That's a man up my alley.
We know, yeah.
It's a little frustrating though when like I'm doing all the errands and everything, and he says, "Can you get the one with the good cap?" I'm like, "You're gonna get whatever one I grab off the shelf, okay?" Let's not be picky. But Pedialyte is his go-to hydration. He drinks a lot of water too. But
so there's a little preview. I mean, we can get to all of this.
Yep.
What's your best hamstring stretch?
Listeners now rooting for the Eagles season to end sooner just so we can get to this podcast.
I know I am. Yeah, I can't wait for
But you know what? Michael has an excuse to drink Pedialyte. If like just a normal person if the three of us were like shopping for Pedialyte and drinking Pedialyte.
Well, you guys all have kids. It would be easier.
Yeah, but I suppose drinking it. Like Michael's a professional.
Who goes out in the public anymore anyway?
True.
That's true. Yeah, you get it delivered. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Very true.
So that was literally one of my notes. I wrote M done podcast hydration training right here.
There you go.
It is true though that a lot of times when you think you're hungry, you're actually just dehydrated.
Yeah,
so
I would say that's true.
If you just drink a few glasses of water, the hunger will go away.
Yeah. If you're doing the intermittent fasting, that's highly recommended. Just chug some water. You'll be able to get to 11 or noon or whenever you're having your first meal of the day.
There you go.
All right.
Back to Sirianni. Part of it is what we've discussed is like that midseason turnaround. Do you give him a lot of credit for that, or do you think what took you so long? I think that's part of it. But I mean, I do just think like this was a team projected to win 6.5 games by Vegas. They're at 8 wins now. Like that's a greater percentage of improvement than anybody but Cincinnati. Like he doesn't have a ton to work with, and the offense, which is his specialty, has been really, really good without a top flight quarterback. I think without anybody else jumping out as a surefire winner for the award, he certainly, in my estimation, deserves to be more a part of the conversation than he is.
The line you had in there that really stood out to me, the 8 quarterbacks they have beaten. I mean, I know we've talked about it, but when you lay it out like this, Matt Ryan, in week 1, Sam Darnold lost his job, Jared Goff, Teddy Bridgewater, Trevor Siemian is a third stringer, Zach Wilson, worst quarterback in the NFL this year, Garrett Gilbert signed off the street. Jake Fromm,
it's bad.
Third stringer. It's incredible. So it made me, now again, we don't have to get into you play whoever's on the schedule. And I think your point is an apt one, which is that, well, the defense isn't carrying the team. If the defense was carrying the team and they were beating up on all these quarterbacks and the offense stunk, then that would probably be a stronger case. I think it's still worth noting when you're looking at wins and losses here. But it did make me think, like, if you're the Eagles and you're making long-term decisions based on the season, like that has to be a big factor into it. Like, you can't, it's kind of what we talked about in some of those Doug Peterson years. Like, don't totally overrate what this team did this year when you look at it big picture. So that stood out to me. I mean, I just went through the standings. By the way, they've had the 30th easiest schedule in the NFL by DVOA. And again, that's not even totally accurate because you
Right.
don't know who is playing quarterback for each team, but that backs it up as well. They don't have a single win over a team that would be in the playoffs right now, right? I wrote that down. Is that I think that's
Correct.
accurate.
That's correct.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So those are some things working against him. But again, I thought your case was certainly a fine one.
Who else is is at the top of the conversation for you?
Go ahead. No, let's hear from you, Zach, because I have a list.
Oh, no, you first. You're the national guy.
No, you. I want to hear from you. Get out of here.
I would say now, I know Bo's going to roll his eyes when I say this, but unless they collapse Bill Belichick, right? I think what he's done with a rookie quarterback in a tough division, I give him credit there. And then I think Mike Vrabel, like they've lost like half their team, and he's got 10 wins right now. So I think those two jump to mind.
It's funny, Zach. When I was going through the list of guys and they're making some jokes about him, and then like thinking about who actually deserved it, those were the two guys who I thought really like. I agree. Those are the two guys who to me would be really worthy of consideration.
Chris chimes in with always stretch your hamstrings to keep your lower back from hurting. PT wife recommendation. Chris, let's get some more. A PT is a great person to have around. I mean, they know, they can tell what's wrong. A good
What about
PT.
a PT Anderson?
They know what's wrong with your body, how to fix it, all these little things that might be ailing you. So listen, Chris, if she has any advice on kind of the IT band, it's been giving me issues for the last decade. I mean, it's been very hit or miss for me going to the PTs for the IT band. So I would welcome her recommendations. All right. Yeah, I think Belichick has to be in the conversation for what you said. Rookie quarterback. It's not a great roster. Now he's putting together the roster. So I don't know how you
and also that. They were projected to win 8.5 games. They've only won 9 so far. So if they lose these next 2 games, we'll see.
I would say that they've outperformed their talent. They have a plus 128 point differential. I mean, they have big boy wins against some very good teams there. Vrabel is a good one. I mean, the advanced stats are not going to be kind to him, but I mean, we're talking about those. I don't know who even votes on this stuff. I think they're looking at wins and losses. And so 10-5, Derrick Henry played 8 games. He lost his offensive coordinator in the offseason. AJ Brown has missed 4 games. There's a case.
I also sort of wonder, like from just a coaching standpoint, like should you get more credit if your team is outperforming your peripherals, like your underlying advanced stats, like the fact that they are like 20th in DVOA, but like
it depends. Do you think close games come down to coaching and execution or randomness? Probably both. A little bit of both.
Yeah.
So you can get some credit. I wouldn't make the case that like, wow, they're crushing it in these close games. That's all coaching. I mean, they had the game where Josh Allen can't sneak for a yard on 4th down. I don't know that, I guess they did blow that play up. So maybe you give them some credit there, but that's always a difficult one. I'm going to at least get a shout out for John Harbaugh. I mean, most teams get crushed by those injuries and they're not even competitive this year. So if they won their last 2 and were 10-7, I think he would deserve a shout out. Frank Reich certainly deserves a shout out. 9-6 with you were making the case that the coaches that do it with subpar quarterbacks should definitely get credit. And I would put him in that category. They've adjusted to the strength of their roster, plus 104 point differential. And they've got, I think, 5 wins over playoff teams: Bills, Patriots, Niners, Cardinals, Dolphins there. And then this type of coach that I'm going to mention now is always the hardest one for me to evaluate. And that's Matt LaFleur.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think I was thinking, all right, if someone sent you the ballot today and said, Sheil, you have to pick, I think I might pick him, because I think we know now the events of the last year that Aaron Rodgers is probably not the easiest guy to coach. And, we've seen Aaron Rodgers teams not be good in the past and the offense not be good in the past, and him butting heads with the head coach. And so LaFleur had to kind of navigate this situation where, all right, I don't want Rodgers mad at me. I don't want the GM thinking I'm taking Rodgers' side. I need to sort of navigate this. They're 12-3. They have a top 3 offense. He does call the plays. They made a defensive coordinator change in the offseason. Their defense has been better. They're 12-2 in games that Rodgers has played. They had the Jordan Love game. Now, I guess that could be a case for he shouldn't deserve credit because without Rodgers, they sucked, but it was a 1-game sample. In the last 3 seasons, they're 38-9. So I know it's not a lifetime achievement award, but that's like, there's no argument, I guess, that he's not maximizing the talent on the roster.
I don't think it would be hard to really argue that he doesn't deserve, angrily argue that he doesn't deserve.
Yeah. The truth is we won't know until he has to for 3 years coach a team without Aaron Rodgers, maybe how good he is, but you have to, base it on who he's coaching right now. And I do think he's done a good job. So those were the names that I had kind of.
I have one rec take. I have not been watching the Hard Knocks, but I did see the clip that was on Twitter from the most recent episode about him learning about Quentin Nelson testing positive. Did you guys see this clip?
I saw that, yes.
I did not, no.
My take here is it seems like they went a little overboard with the Christmas decorations in the Colts facility.
I mean,
I didn't see it, so I don't know.
It feels a little pandering towards Carson in a way, I guess. I don't know.
I don't know. I think
Carson's not the only one who celebrates Christmas. Yeah.
I know, but it was way over the top. I don't know. Watch that clip and tell me what you think, Sheil.
All right, we can do an emergency pod for it later. Marissa, hopefully you're around for that.
I mean, let's go win a football game. This is a little concussion uncle of me, but come on. There's fake presents out there. It's weird. Okay. Let's.
I would think you have. Don't you think you probably have that in most NFL facilities? I don't know. All right, I didn't see it, so I don't even know what I'm responding to.
Well, let's ask Michael Dunn.
Yeah, I was going to say, what if you're
I'm pretty sure it's the rookies' responsibilities to decorate.
So Quiddy pays all over that.
Quiddy pays a big Christmas guy, maybe.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure they did make sure that there was some, non-Christmas stuff for Michael at the Browns facility this year.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah, so
it's nice of Stefanski.
Yeah,
nice of Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah.
Yeah.
All right, let's take a little.
Wait, real quick. After you read Bo's piece, check out also on The Athletic. There's 2,000 words on the Eagles defense, discussing basically what she was talking about. Like, are they good because they played these lousy quarterbacks? They were in the back half of the schedule, or have they actually had improvement? And two numbers jump out to me that really shows kind of how this defense is different than the defenses that Philadelphia has loved in recent years.
I'm laughing at the size of Sheil's thing. It's enormous.
The Eagles rank 31st in the NFL in sacks per passing play. So they really don't sack the quarterback, and that runs counter to obviously Jim Schwartz's defenses and some of the great defenses that they've had in the past. Conversely, they allow only 4.7 big plays per game. That's not the Eagles metric for it, but as defined by at least 10 yards on a rush or 20 yards on a pass. And that's the fewest in the NFL. So Jonathan Gannon's defense.
That was the goal, right?
Yeah. As designed, he said, he tries not to give much away in terms of what he values, but explosive plays and takeaways. And takeaways, they're not that good one way or the other. They're kind of middle of the pack, but they reduce explosive plays. And in that building, both sides of the ball, they feel if you have explosive plays and you don't give up explosive plays, that's a big indicator. So they are doing that well, even though they're not getting to the quarterback.
Check that out.
Absolutely.
All right.
Yeah.
A little break, and then we'll be back to talk about this game and get into a very exciting swooper.
It's winter, which means both football and basketball are in full swing. And for many of us, there's no better way to enjoy the games than by having some skin in the game, which is why BetMGM remains the exclusive betting partner of The Athletic. And as a fan of The Athletic, you can bet $10 to win $150 plus a free 3-month subscription or extension to your subscription with The Athletic when you bet with BetMGM using our promo code. Just sign up at BetMGM.com and use the promo code TheAthleticPod at checkout to take advantage of the special offer from the King of Sportsbooks. That's bet $10 to win $150 plus 3 months free from The Athletic at BetMGM.com and using the promo code TheAthleticPod at checkout. New customer offer. Visit BetMGM.com for terms and conditions.
21 years of age or older to wager. Arizona, Colorado, Washington, D.C., Indiana, Iowa, Michigan, New Jersey, Nevada, Pennsylvania, Tennessee, Virginia, and West Virginia only. Excludes Michigan disassociated persons. Please gamble responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP in Arizona, 1-800-522-4700 in Colorado, Washington, D.C., Nevada, Wyoming, and Virginia, 1-800-270-7117 for confidential help in Michigan, 1-800-GAMBLER in Maryland, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, and West Virginia, 1-800-BETS-OFF in Iowa. Call or text the Tennessee Red Line 800-889-9789 in Tennessee or call 1-800-9-WITH-IT in Indiana.
This podcast is sponsored by BetterHelp Online Therapy. Check out betterhelp.com/theathletic. The best way to think about therapy is through a bunch of analogies. We get our cars tuned up to prevent bigger issues down the road. We get annual checkups and go to the gym to maintain physical wellness and prevent injury and disease. We do chores regularly, well, some of us, maybe not Bo, to avoid a giant mess of a house and roaches. Going to therapy is like all of these. It's routine maintenance for your mental and emotional wellness to prevent bigger issues down the road. Going to therapy doesn't mean something's wrong with you. It means you're investing in yourself to keep your mind healthy. BetterHelp is customized online therapy that offers video, phone, and even live chat sessions with your therapist, so you don't have to see anyone on camera if you don't want to. It's much more affordable than in-person therapy, and you can start communicating with your therapist in under 48 hours. Why invest in everything else and not your mind? This podcast is sponsored by BetterHelp, and Birds with Friends listeners get 10% off their first month at betterhelp.com/theathletic. That's BETTERHELP.com/theathletic.
All right, back on Birds with Friends. I see that Purdue is playing right now, and that reminds me of a Zach story that I had been meaning to relay, which was ahead of the last Washington game. We had a chance to talk to Ryan Kerrigan for the first time since the beginning of the season, and the press conference is going on, and everybody's sort of shot their shot, and they're like, "All right, one or two more questions," and Zach comes in and goes, "Hey Ryan, what can you tell us about George Karlaftis?" He's always thinking. He's thinking ahead. Zach's got all the angles. He knows we're not going to talk to Ryan Kerrigan again, ever. And he knows that the Eagles might draft this guy, or at least
I was going to say, do you want to explain who that is?
Yeah, George Karlaftis is a pass rusher like Ryan Kerrigan from Purdue. Zach's the wheels always turning, so he's getting this quote, and he knows he's going to bust this bad boy out in March.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that was a big stretch. Karlaftis is one of the top players in college football. He was a huge recruit. It was a big deal when he chose Purdue. I think he's going to be the first defensive end from Purdue to get drafted in the first round since Ryan Kerrigan. So yeah, look, if the Eagles draft Karlaftis, it'll be much easier to get a Kerrigan quote when he's on the team than a Kerrigan quote on draft night. So I figure you keep that one in your back pocket, and you never know.
Great stuff.
I appreciate it.
All right. This Washington team, a little bit different than when we last saw them. They will have quarterbacks.
We just talked about them. I was going to ask you, Zach, is this the shortest span between, with two teams facing each other in the history of the NFL? Because they're going from a Tuesday to a Sunday, the next Sunday. And I don't think, are there examples of teams playing back-to-back weeks? I couldn't remember any, but I could be wrong.
So the playoffs.
The playoffs.
Okay, regular season. How about regular season?
Yeah, the Tuesday makes that a big challenge. Or
it must be
a challenge to top. I'm trying to think.
How about that nugget from me? I'm on fire.
If there's ever been a Sunday and then like 2 weeks later they play on a Thursday, but I can't think of that. I can't think of that. I know the Eagles have done this a few times where they played teams 2 weeks apart, but never obviously Tuesday then Sunday. So
you're welcome, audience.
That's a good
one.
The
Browns played the Ravens 2 weeks in a row, but they had the bye in between there.
Right. So that was extra.
But both of their games were back-to-back Ravens games.
Don't mansplain it.
I'm talking to her?
To you.
Oh, I thought.
Well, the bye counts as another week.
I thought you were saying she was mansplaining it too.
Well, technically they were back-to-back games, so.
Right. And then, all right, so I don't know. What do we need to talk about? They got Taylor Heineke, who also stinks, or at least stunk last week.
Well, they're much. I think they're going to be a more fortified team in terms of their roster than what the Eagles saw 13, a week and a half ago now. But that said, they're coming off just like a historically bad loss, discombobulated on national television. So it can either go one way or the other. There's this thought that like maybe they'll be motivated, or it could be that they've just completely like jumped off the ship, if you will. So curious to see what happens.
Yeah, I was looking at the snap counts the last 2 weeks for them, and I feel like they weren't as undermanned. If you compare the team the Eagles are going to face Sunday, it's not like as different as I thought from the one they previously faced. Now, obviously, quarterback is the big one, and that makes a huge deal. I guess the other guy, I think Washington football team fans like this guy, Cam Curl, is like their tight end matchup. And I think they're 10th or 11th in DVOA against tight ends this year. And of course, Dallas Goedert had the monster game last time.
They're 27th in defensive DVOA. So I don't think Cam Curl's changing.
I was saying against tight ends.
I know.
Now you, man, you don't need to mansplain me.
I'm making fun of the Washington
okay?
the fans.
You need to white-splain me with your
Cam Curl.
Whatever you're talking about there. All right. Kendall Fuller was the other guy they didn't have in that game, right? He should play in this game. But other than that, I mean, it's pretty similar. If anything, they're out some guys. William Jackson played in that game and got injured. I don't know if he's going to be back yet or not. That's one to keep an eye out for the injury report. Landon Collins played in that game. He's on injured reserve. So it's not as different as I anticipated. And the Eagles put up 519 yards on them in that game.
There was a funny moment, I thought, in Darius Slay's press conference yesterday that when they asked him about the punch between Jonathan Allen and Daron Payne, he was like, "Oh, that happens all the time. Like Glover Quinn and I used to go at each other. Like we're brothers. Like that's just business as usual."
Yeah, he's like Quandre Diggs and me. Same
Quandre Diggs. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So but no, you're absolutely right. That was a good moment.
I mean, the cameras don't usually catch an actual punch.
I have never seen something like that before.
And I love during the broadcast, they're like, well, now all the shows are going to be talking about this. Like, yeah, a guy threw a punch at his teammate. I mean, what that's off limits now?
Like
that's blowing it up out of proportion. I mean, he literally tried to slug the guy in the face. Like it wasn't pushing and shoving or, it wasn't having words. Like he threw a punch. Yeah, I think it's okay to talk about that. So settle down.
I'd like to get a little more Collinsworth out of you if you don't mind.
I would like to know when we do that podcast with Michael Dunn, we won't ask him too much about football stuff, but I would like to know if he's ever thrown a punch at anybody on the sideline or had a punch thrown at him.
There's no way.
Speaking of which,
actually,
he's the like hold back guy. He's like, he would, if he ever threw a punch, I honestly would, the's no way. Like,
this isn't gassing him up, but I did notice this.
Me on the other hand, I don't know.
Oh, jeez. Michael Dunn plays the Jordan Mailata role, I noticed, for that offensive line. I mean, I've never seen a guy be more eager to help up a teammate after a play. I mean, he's first among all their offensive linemen. It could be the quarterback. It could be Nick Chubb. It could be a tight end, another offensive lineman. So Mailata and Michael Dunn have the,
he helped up two Packers the other day. I was
what are we doing, Michael?
You don't have to give those guys a hand.
Well, he may not have punched a teammate, but he did steamroll a teammate when Sheil was there to witness it. And that teammate is on the Eagles and has been more productive than Ryan Kerrigan. Tell us the story, Sheil.
Cameron Malveaux? Is that
Cameron Malveaux?
Yeah. Well, I noticed because I was watching film and I go, 59? They have a player who's 59? Mike Mamula's back? Seth Joyner's back all of a sudden? Who is this guy? And I'm like, oh, that's right. Yeah, they've mentioned this guy on the podcast. Yeah, that was I was at 2 practices and on one of them, Mike and they're good friends, right, Marissa?
Yes. Yeah. They have the same agent. So
agent. So
but they got a little chippy. But obviously no punches ever.
Yeah, but it was it was one of the chippier moments of the practice that I was at where Michael Dunn took him down, and then Malveaux got up and was not happy about it. So that was fun.
Yeah, he was very happy to see him elevated. What is it, last week? He texted me. He's like, Z-Berm's reporting Cam's getting elevated.
I appreciate
so glad to see he follows Z-Berm's Twitter.
He made some tackles. He literally was more productive than Ryan Kerrigan has been all year long. So
Awesome.
good for him.
If Derek Barnett doesn't play, he'll have to see even a bigger bump in snaps, right?
That's right. Okay. All right. Anything else on this matchup, or should we just get right to Swoop?
Well, real quick for you guys, are you buying this idea that they're going to play both quarterbacks? And like, what's the purpose of that?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they're a disaster of a franchise, so that's one that they don't really know what's going on. I mean, if Heineke plays and is a complete disaster and is sucking it up, and it's the third quarter and they're down like 7-0 or something, I guess I could see them making a move and going with Kyle Allen. But yeah, no, I'm not really buying it. Like, I don't think it's going to be anything predetermined with like, hey, let's get Kyle Allen some snaps here. Although, maybe like Matt Rule started a trend with what he was doing in Carolina. By the way, I mean, unbelievable. So Sam Darnold now will start this week. Again, they gave Cam Newton $6 million in the middle of the season when no one wanted Cam Newton, and he's not even playing anymore. They have really unbelievable.
They're trading for Deshaun Watson this offseason. That's my prediction right now.
Yeah, well, they've been they were exploring. Listen, if you're a quarterback, they want you. I mean,
but I'm saying,
really
but
matter.
Rule knows he needs to win next year, right? There's no I'll roll it down the line anymore. He needs to win next year. Deshaun Watson gives him
Jay-Z 7 years.
I mean,
did it become an overnight?
Jeez. Yeah. Wow.
Okay.
All right.
Swooper Soarcasting. Zach and Sheil tied at 5.5.
Hold on now here real quick. I didn't bring this up last week. I thought the discussion was way too short. Now, it didn't matter. If there's a tie break, then we're going to have to get to it. But that I should not have gotten credit for them scoring on 50% of their drives.
Not at all.
What are you talking about?
5 of 11.
It was 5 of 10. We said if there was a drive where they don't throw the football and are not trying to score, we literally said that does not count as a drive. Their last drive
that was
7.
not.
What are you talking? They were trying to score on that drive.
They got
ran
several
the ball
first
7
downs.
straight times and then gave it up. What are you talking about? Just because they get a first down, they were not trying to score.
That was a legit drive. They would have scored.
Sheil, I did bring this up before the pod started, and I said, "Does that count?" And they looked
like a 2-second discussion. My gosh, if it was you, unbelievable. You would have just assumed it counted. It would have taken the entire everybody who follows us to tell you that you're absolutely wrong about it, and then you still wouldn't have changed it. For me, it's like, oh yeah, that didn't count as a literally the discussion last week was if they don't pass the ball, they're not trying to score on the drive.
I went by ZB's reaction, and
they handed the ball off on 3rd and 1 and 4th and 1 to try to convert. They wanted to extend that drive. It wasn't like they took a knee.
They went for it on 4th down.
Yeah, 4th and 1. Yeah, they were trying.
The Swooper gods noticed what went down, and they'll notice during this round and in the weeks ahead. Yeah, like I said, it doesn't matter if it comes down to a tie break down the road. I will revisit. Other than that, it doesn't matter because I didn't win anyway.
Okay.
I thought I had a shot. If Devonta, I mean, he had 75 yards at halftime. I was feeling good.
Yeah, it looked good for you.
But anyway.
All right. So Sheil and Zach at 5 1/3, rather. I am at 4 1/3. 2 weeks left in the regular season. Could be more than that. Zach is, of course, carrying over the most turkeys. He has 32 turkeys with which to bid today.
Boy.
Sheil has 27. I have 25.
All right, we ready?
Let's do it.
Very spicy right now.
And this should be a very spicy submissions.
Should be on the field and should be in the booth for long-time listeners.
My favorite comment is from Tim in the chat in here. It says, "I hate it when my dads fight."
My
All right.
dad. All right.
We will start week 17 of Swooper with Boston Scott has the most rushing yards of any player in the game.
That's why ZB wasn't giving up the info earlier, huh? Okay. It's all coming together, baby. He's playing a win.
4.
Most rushing. Now, we don't know if Antonio Gibson is going to play, correct?
We don't.
Okay. 5.
Do I hear 6?
6.
Bosco. 7.
Going once. Going
8.
to.
Ooh.
Do I hear 9?
No 9 for me. By the way, Mike in the chat says Antonio Gibson did not practice today.
Freshman year roommate of Kenny Gainwell's.
Mike?
Antonio Gibson.
Oh.
Antonio Gibson, yes.
That would have been great knowledge of our sickos.
Our sickos will remember that was a swooper the last time they played, but they did not show a photo of the two of them.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm out.
I'm out as well.
All right. Sold to Bo. For
What'd you get that for?
8.
8. Okay.
It's a good value.
All right. There are more 4th down conversions than field goals made.
Good one. Good one.
Lots of good ones today.
More
3.
4th down. I think everyone stepped up their game because whoever had the one last week, did we even give that person credit by name? No.
I never found who it was.
Yeah.
They could come forward.
All right. All right.
I'm sure he or she's watching. Yeah.
We gassed that one up big time. So now everyone's trying to come for the king or the queen.
3. And by the way, before I forget, we were talking about DMs earlier. It was I believe listener Jake F who sent me a Twitter DM earlier this season suggesting that I start my bidding at 3, and I had been doing that in recent weeks, and I told him that I would give him credit on the show. So that was listener Jake.
The hell, Jake?
Now I'd like to just jump in here that he then followed up with you months later and said, "Can you give me credit for this?"
Well, he saw the success. He didn't want to take
you don't have
credit
to
if
call
it
him
didn't work.
out.
I thought that was very funny.
Yeah, I appreciate his.
He wants the pub.
Yeah,
That's a sicko right there. He wants a little. All right. Where are we at here?
3.
By the way,
This is for both teams combined, right? In the
Zach,
game,
someone wanted to know if you knew where Mike met his wife, and Mike said he met his wife at a wedding in Atlanta.
In Atlanta, yep.
Yeah.
his best friend's wedding.
Okay.
TBD on where he went on his honeymoon. We're waiting for that comment to roll in.
4.
5.
6.
Going once.
7.
Baby. 4th down conversions, field goals made. It's kind of like a 50-50.
The last time they played, it was 0-0 for both of
it's
these.
gonna be more. I'm gonna go 8.
Oh, shoot.
Darn it.
Tressway's injury here, or on, I shouldn't say injury. Tressway's on the COVID list. Does that affect Ron Rivera's strategy at all? I think Sirianni's been a little too conservative in 4th downs this season.
That's true. I didn't factor that in. Mike went on a cruise through the Caribbean for his honeymoon.
9.
9.
Well, you went 8, right? You were at okay, 9.
We also should take into account that the weather does not look too great on Sunday.
Don't help them
in
out.
Landover, Maryland. So leave it at that. That's
helping
fair to
you
everyone.
out too. You're not out of Turkey.
It's not like I DM'd
Don't
Zach.
mansplain her how to host the game.
Don't Indian explain me how to do my job.
By the way, speaking of these words that have just cropped, like, can we chill with normalize? Like, don't normalize this. Don't normalize that. Everyone settle the frick down.
Normalize doing this.
Oh my gosh. I'm out.
All right, I'm rolling with 9.
Hold on, it's not done yet.
No,
Ooh,
my phone.
Going
Look
once.
at
It's supposed to be. I've heard it's not going to be good weather there on Sunday.
that.
Going twice. Sold to Zach. What was that, 9?
Yeah.
9. So now I'm down to 23.
All right.
With conversions, right? Not just going for it. Yeah.
No, yeah, you have to convert.
Conversions.
Okay. This next swooper comes from a special guest, the one and only Dennis. DM'd me earlier in the
great.
week.
Wow.
And this is a callback
Dennis
to the last time the Eagles played Washington. And as we all remember, that game was moved. So the game will be played Sunday at 1 p.m. Let the bidding begin.
Oh, no.
Wait, this Eagles game will be played Sunday at 1 p.m.?
Correct.
Well, so by the way, Dennis teaches game theory at Penn. So this is like
he even told me he wanted it to go third in the list. And I'm hoping I'm doing it justice here. So shout out to Dennis.
This might end up, being a lesson taught to his students here. All right, I'll start it off. 1.
10.
10.
How many turkeys does everybody have? I have 27. What do you guys have?
I have 17. Zach has 23.
Okay.
15.
Oh, jeez.
17.
Wow. Going once. Going twice.
You're going to let him have it, Zach?
I'm
Salt. She said salt.
Oh, Zach. What are you doing? You got to bid him up a little more.
Wow. Excellent submission by Dennis.
Wow, that's a steal for Sheil.
She'll get
10 turkeys left.
Zach is.
I feel like you blew that.
I don't think I've ever heard Zach curse on this podcast.
Did he curse? Oh, I missed it.
Oh, I was doing the math on my computer. I thought that was a quick
on your
hook there.
computer. What?
Oh, he's blaming Marissa for the quick soul.
Yeah.
He
No, I went very slow.
He thought he had an extra
There's
second.
a reason she says going once, going twice. I mean,
I thought she was very quick on the soul.
No. Listen, first of all, what math are you doing?
I was trying to figure out what my number could be, and then I could still theoretically get one without just so.
All right.
Wow.
That is gonna keep me up at night.
Epic. Wow. Dennis for the win. As always.
That was good. That was good. It is. These little wrinkles we're getting in here,
wow.
They've really stepped up.
Now,
so
I mean, if we can get just like a half an hour delay for this game, that would really be great.
Well, it is going to be bad weather. Can you imagine if there's a lightning delay?
Oh my God! Good point.
Nice.
Could be.
I have a public request for Dennis here. I used to try to audit classes that I wasn't registered for when I was in college. Is there any chance that I could sit in on his game theory class?
I actually want to do this.
Yeah,
I've thought about this before. Yeah, I would love to do that actually.
Yeah, just sit in. I won't raise my hand or participate. I just want to try to get some strategy for next year.
Yeah, I would like to do that as well. Let's do it.
So when me and Dennis were going back and forth, I did mention that we have to get him on the show. So we are going to try and arrange a schedule that works for everyone to get him on because, like someone said in the chat, he is a sicko celebrity for sure. So thank him for that.
Well, once we have a meetup again, he shows up at the meetup. So, maybe we can have him special corner table roped off or something.
Yes.
Sickos can get their picture taken with him.
All right. Somebody says ZB's wife is going to wake up to ZB doing math on a whiteboard at 1 a.m.
Yeah.
Right now, the weather, rain showers.
Yeah,
could change to lightning.
I feel like you got to push that back. I mean, you can't be playing in rain showers.
Sheil's getting a
the field. There could be an issue with the field where they, one of those. I went to that preseason game, Brian Billick, where all of a sudden you're going, wait, there's no game going to be played here. All right, let's go.
I had many shoes ruined there when I was an intern in college.
Flex, look at all those shoes.
Yes, we shall see what happens. All right. I can't wait.
Wow, I can't believe Sheil still has 10 left. Oof,
I'm actually going to move this next one up just because I think after what Zach missed out on, he's going to really hate this one. Okay. So this was actually a submission from Bo and coincidentally a submission from the chat as well. Oh. Either team rushes or passes for a prime number of yards.
Wait. Oh, no, this wasn't mine. Oh, but it's...
Well, it's basically what yours was. That this is more detailed.
Oh, mine was about. Well, it's okay. So did you take mine out?
I did take yours out.
Oh, mine was way better. It's okay.
Okay, we can change to yours.
No, man's
No, it's okay.
No, I did
you
take
made
his
the decision.
out.
You're the judge.
I did take his out. All right.
You're the judge. No. You're the judge. You made
we
the
will
decision.
change to his. No, it's
No.
fine.
No.
One team finishes with a prime number of points scored. I just thought it was wild that you picked that.
Yeah, it's weird that
and
we
the
would both
listener,
have prime number things.
I can't even tell you what a prime number is. I don't even remember. I was terrible at math. So
normalize not telling the senior podcast producer who puts hours in at 3 a.m. to produce your terrible pod and host your horrible segment. What to put into Swooper Soarcasting? What is it? Clap, normalize. Whatever.
I mean, everyone should have their 3 submissions. So I thought they were similar, but we'll go with both. One team finishes with a prime number of points scored.
I'm just trying to think of like what common numbers, like 17, 23. But I'm trying to think what common
7.
Yeah, like of
11
beyond.
Yeah. So there are 25 prime numbers between 0 and 100.
Okay.
Don't ask me what they are.
Oh, I thought you had like a list. Okay.
I mean, I guess
I think I think we named a bunch of them.
Yeah.
All right.
I'll go 4.
I only went for this one over the other one because it's like easier to follow this live.
Okay, 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13, 17, 19, 23, 29, 31, 37, 41, 43. I doubt they're scoring more than 43.
Yeah, 7, 13, 17. I mean, those are all pretty common numbers.
5.
6.
Do I hear 7?
What if I just jumped in on this bad boy? Do I want this? I kind of like this one, to be honest. 6 is a steal for this, I feel.
Going 1.
Yeah, we got to accelerate it after mine ones. Yeah.
Going 7. Twice.
7. Both said 7.
Okay.
Both said 7.
8.
Oh.
Do I hear 9?
How many times are they going to make you say going once, going twice?
Going once. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3.
No, you don't have to accelerate.
Your pace was fine.
Yeah.
Yes, guys.
Going twice. Sold to Zach for 8.
For 8.
Okay.
Right.
That's a nice one. Yeah. That is a nice one. 7, 13, 17. I mean, low scoring game. We're thinking.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Good one. He's getting congratulated off to the side. Somebody's.
The guy that I forget. I thought I had written it down. ERO, the letter, is the guy that submitted the original one. So shout out to him for being on the same wavelength as Bo with prime numbers. That's a accomplishment.
Sick.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jalen Hurts is the Eagles' leading rusher.
3.
4.
What number question is this? 5? Is this the 5th?
Yes.
Okay. 5.
Do I hear 6?
You got some inside info on the ankle, huh?
6.
Going once. Going twice. Sold to Zach for 6.
Wow, Zach, Bo, what's going on over there? You playing or what?
So
did you submit two that were like, Jalen Hurts attempts to pass? And
I submitted that one. That was one of mine.
Okay.
I think between Boston Scott and this one.
You're in good shape to get one of them.
Okay.
Wait, was Boston
I have
Scott?
Boston
No,
Scott.
Boston Scott
Bo
was
has
leading
Boston
rusher
Scott.
in the game, though, right? Or no?
Yeah.
Yes,
That's right.
yes. There's a difference.
Oh,
yeah.
Bo has that. Okay.
Bo has that.
All right.
All right. Casey Toohill has more tackles plus QB hits than Ryan Kerrigan. Sacks count as 2.
Did you guys submit this one?
Yes, I did.
I was going to do something similar to this where I was trying to come up with a sack point number, which is very weird. Yeah.
That's funny.
I literally had it
For these
spelled
two
out.
guys?
But then I think
Wow.
it comes up later, but I just simplified it because I thought it was too
Okay.
confusing.
Bo is in the minds of everyone these
Wow.
days.
Bo's boy. 1.
Three.
I mean, I don't really know much about Hill's status or how many snaps he played last week or anything, but this
believe he had-
feels. Yeah, he had something, right? He was in
He
the
had a few
box
tackles
score.
last week. Yeah.
All right. And
So
you
last
guys
week,
tell me every
actually-
week that Kerrigan does nothing.
Yeah. So last week, Toohill had 2 combined tackles and 1 special teams tackle. 2 defensive tackles, 1 special teams tackle.
Okay.
Those count.
And you bid on it, so he's not on the COVID list or anything. 4.
Five.
Now the
What are
variable
you
here
looking
is
at
if-
over there? Is Hill in your house?
Yeah, he stays
He's
over.
like, I'm gonna have a big game, big boy.
so
No,
something
it's
to consider
Kerrigan.
here.
He just hurt his thumb again.
Something to consider here is if if Derek Barnett doesn't play,
Good point.
then
There's
Kerrigan's
yeah,
playing
that's
time
true.
jumps up.
That's true. But does his production
Yeah.
jump up? Where are we at here?
I have 5.
By the way, Ryan Kerrigan having a big game in his return to Washington would be a good storyline to cover. So
Yeah, I don't
Would
know. I disagree with that.
yeah,
No, what this team going for the playoffs? I mean, it would have to be a game win. This
Okay,
game-winning
yes.
sack fumble. It would have to be like
the-
Brandon Graham in the Super Bowl.
We have the Washington injury report. I know we already said Gibson did not practice. Neither did Montez Sweat, William Jackson, or Sam Cosmi, who we mentioned before, is on the COVID list. That's it.
so it's always good when if you write the story that can be tagged in 2 different fan bases, right? Because then maybe you're getting
But
some
then
Washington
like,
readers.
people in the comments who don't
this
understand
is
what's
the
going on.
newspaper mentality coming out, Zach. That is not your.
No, that's subscription hunting. All right, that's subscription hunting right there. Right?
Come
That's-
on. What Washington football team fan is going to subscribe to the Athletic because they're excited that Ryan Kerrigan made a play?
He's a big deal there. He's one of the best players in recent franchise history.
All right.
I mean,
All
if
right,
if Jason Kelsey went to Washington and in his return to Philly had a big game and Ben
That is
Standing
that is so offensive to Jason Kelsey.
Oh,
and
my
Ben
God.
Standing wrote about it, I imagine our readers would be interested.
And if Jason Kelsey
Yeah.
had like the worst season of his career or anyone's career
If Fletcher Cox plays for Washington next year
and has 0 tackles all the way through the entire
and then he
season,
has a sack and a half against the Eagles, I think Eagles fans would want to read that story. Am I wrong? In the comment section, would you want to read if Fletcher played next year? Here, how about this? Malcolm Jenkins. If Malcolm Jenkins last year in his return to New Orleans had a big game against the Eagles, and the Saints writer wrote about it, if Kat Terrell wrote about it, would you want to read that story?
Would you subscribe to read that story? After all the wonderful content that's been put out there, that would get you to put your credit card information in the little window and subscribe. That is the key there. All right. Matt Healy says no. All right. Where are we with this? We're never
I
going to
have
be
5.
finished.
I have 5.
I will go 6. I think this is a sneaky one that, it's like, well, no one's going to bid this up, but I actually think this is like a good value one. So I'm going 6.
I'm going 7.
Gosh, how badly do I want Hill on the board?
Do I hear 8?
Zach, you coming in on this? This is our 6th question, correct?
Yes, correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
8.
Wow. Zach only has 9 left. He's going all in on this bad boy.
Wow.
He's willing to make this his thing.
Yeah, let him have it. Let him have it. Then we, you know.
But then I don't know what else is coming.
We
This
still
is a
got
pretty good one.
We still have 6 more. He'll be down to 1 turkey.
Yeah, but he's going to have 2 things that are that have a very good chance to happen.
Like, what are the other ones?
Well, the prime number is a fun one.
Definite. Yeah, so I think we can't let him have more. What is it? Stakes in the fire. Did Bo just freeze up?
Yeah, we need to let Bo jump in here. So
Bo's back. All right, Bo. It's up to you. I mean, I would not be mad at you if you just said take it for 8 and you're pretty much out of the game the rest of the way. But if you think you know Two Hill better than I know Two Hill,
I have it's
If
a
you
leap of
wanna
faith
take
on the
it,
6 questions
go.
that
Yeah,
are to
if-
come.
if you want it, take it.
I'm gonna let Zach have it.
yeah,
Wow.
Yeah, when he said if you want it, take it. I knew he didn't want it.
I know. I had to let him have it.
Zach, that was a mistake. That last sentence you uttered pushed him over the top, I think.
I was trying to bit him up.
I know.
You learned the wrong lesson from the one with Sheila with the game is played at 1 o'clock.
So I have 3 now.
No, you have 1.
Why do you have 1?
No. I have 3 things in the fire here.
You have 4.
What are they?
You have
4
4
things in the fire. That's what I meant.
All right, that's good though.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
a fine.
but
That's a
I
fine.
wanted
don't
to
have a bad
diversify
start.
my assets here. But
You have a
And
fine.
now, how many turkeys does Bo have left?
I have 17. You have 10.
And there are 6 questions left, and Zach has 1, and there are 6 questions left. All right.
All right.
Woo! I'm like sweating
What do
here.
Yeah,
what do we
that's
do if like you guys have no more turkeys and there's still submissions left?
question.
That would
No
be a
one gets
first.
them. They're
Yeah.
done.
Yeah.
They're off
Yeah,
the
that
board.
would be a first.
All right. The Eagles clinch the playoffs.
I didn't do the parlay odds to see what.
It's about a 40% chance.
Oh,
Generally, like
that.
around that number.
All right.
So upset.
3,
5,
6,
7,
5 more after this. 40% chance. I do like this one. It's a good one. But then if I go 8, then I'm dealing with 2, and there's 5 more left where Bo can just stockpile. All right, I'm going to give it to you. I'm out.
Got it.
Yep.
That was at 7, right?
Yep.
Okay.
So we're both at 10.
Both
This
at
one's
10 with
also-
5 left.
Up Bo's alley. A punt is down more than 10 yards away from where it first hits the ground.
Okay. I
That's
like
not.
this
This is
one.
not my submission, actually.
No,
Oh,
this is a
it's
chat.
a good one.
It is a good one.
The punt ones are generally popular.
Now, hold
they
on a
give you
second.
reason to
We have
watch.
to determine how a touchback plays in, because if it lands on the 5, it's then placed and bounces into the end zone. Oh no, it says it's downed. It's not where it's spotted, so it has to be downed.
Has to be in the field of play, correct?
That's it seems like that.
I mean, if no one touches it and they blow the whistle, that counts.
That counts.
Correct?
That counts. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
But a touchback doesn't count.
Okay. So it's if the starting line of scrimmage on a non-return punt is 10 yards away from where it hits the ground, touchbacks excluded.
Yes.
I know that was not the easiest way to say it, but I think we understand. All right. 2.
1. Okay.
Boy, we're coming out hot on this one.
Do I hear 3? Going once. Going twice. Sold for 2. Wow.
Whoa.
Cheap one for Sheil. Zach, how you
Oh, it's
feeling?
more than 10 yards. It says so. It has to be at least 11 yards.
That's true. More than 10 yards. Yep.
I'm so.
How are we going to
disappointed in
determine
myself.
exactly where it hit the ground?
Hold
though?
on, Sheil.
Hopefully
What'd you
there's
say,
no
Zach?
controversy.
I said I am so disappointed in myself because I haven't gotten into the business of bidding up this season for the purpose of avoiding what happened, where you end up with something you don't want. I thought I was I don't know what I was thinking.
You thought I was that attached to Two Hill.
Yes.
Well, for good reason. I mean,
I
my
was
gosh.
so frustrated. I was really hoping that there'd be some cheap ones here at the end, and that Bo would be late on money. That Sheil wouldn't have his, and I could scoop up a few at like 3 or 4. I never anticipated that I would end up with Casey Two Hill at 8 turkeys. So yeah, so I am disappointed in myself. I have no one to blame here but myself. I am.
Yeah, but you might get. That's a thing that is very likely to happen.
Yeah, you don't have a bad slate.
Yeah, but not the slate that I wanted. Right? Like I'd rather. I don't know. I am wearing it. Bottom line, I am wearing it.
We can see that. It's
All
all
right.
over your face.
Okay.
This is our 9th one.
Somehow there's still 4 left. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Jalen Hurts has 50 rushing yards or more.
I forgot.
Visibly very frustrated.
Marissa, you will appreciate that. I forgot I submitted this earlier when I started bidding on Jalen Hurts will lead the Eagles in rushing. And I go, wait a minute. I got there's the 50 yards one is coming. All right. 1.
2.
Yeah, because the other one is just the Eagles leading rusher. So
Right.
Do I hear 3?
3.
Going once.
4.
All right, I'm out.
Sold to Bo.
I love that one, but it's a little hedge on my Bosco one.
That's true.
There's
All right.
or more, so 50 counts.
Yep. Okay.
How many turkeys you
We
got?
got a throwback.
I've got 6. You've got 8.
Okay.
Throwback from Sheil from less than 2 weeks ago.
I mean, if we do this every game for the next 3 years, one of these broadcasts, they have to mention it. So
The broadcast says Riverboat Ron at some point.
1.
2.
Zach, you're not even throwing in your courtesy 1?
Yeah, but you do have 1, Zach.
I'm aware. Yeah.
All right, I went 2.
Who's on the call?
I think it's
Mark
Adam
Schlereth and
Adam Amin and Mark Schlereth. Sports India. Not Mark Schlereth.
You're on 2?
Yeah.
If I go 3, then you can just get the last 2. I don't really want that. So I'm gonna let you have it.
All right.
I can't believe Sheil is still like in the game after he was
Neither
able
can
to.
I.
I know. He's got a guaranteed one.
I'm like the
Not
2014 Eagles
guaranteed.
here.
Nothing's guaranteed.
Yeah.
I am very curious what that weather is going to look like on Sunday.
You have 6, Bo. We both have 6.
We both have 6.
All right.
Wait,
the
so
final
if
2.
if the kickoff's at 106, does it?
I think we know
Like
if it's
that.
kicked off
Yeah.
when it's normally kicked
Okay.
off. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
But if there's like a delay because of the fields or lightning, or
Like if we get
because-
like, let's say they have like a skydiver or something like that, and they like tears up the field or something, like 5 minutes counts. Like,
Or
well, no, because Roger Goodell sent that memo. I don't know if you saw the memo. For
you get his memos?
it was put on social media that he wants every team to have a moment of silence for John Madden. But in the memo, he gave the language he would like them to read at the game. You should check it out. I think Bo could have a field day with that memo.
Oh.
But yeah, so that pushes the game back a bit. All of a sudden, we're at like 107.
No. Yeah. I mean, I don't. My
You
interpretation
were going to say
was
something
close.
else, Sheil?
I was going to say if an enterprising reporter wanted to maybe streak or something on the field and delay the game, or a fan. I mean, there's going to be a lot of Eagles fans there.
Yeah.
Zach, I know you've got a lot of Eagles fans in your life. What are you willing to, throw their way for them to
Signed copy.
get arrested or something? Signed
Nothing.
copy.
Nothing. No.
Riverboat Ron for 2 is a steal too. I mean,
Chose-
it's
chose
just
the
I
harder-
don't know. It didn't
yeah.
happen last time.
No,
All right.
you do the right thing all the time. Character counts, right? Choose the harder right over the easier wrong. So
yes, we do not advise anyone.
always the right
doing
time to do the
streaking
right
on the
thing.
field.
Yeah, well,
Okay, our final 2. Javon Hargrave has more sacks than Jonathan Allen.
That was the one. I was going to do sacks and QB hits. Sacks count as 2. QB hits count as 1. But then I'm like, well, should I include tackles for loss? And then I was like, well, we are in the middle of a podcast here. I'll just send this over to Marissa.
1.
2.
You can't give this in for 2, Bo.
Oh, wow.
Well, Zach, I don't know what the last one is. This is a door number 1 or door number 2 situation.
Yeah, one of us is getting. Yeah.
Do I get the other one?
Right. We're splitting this. Although I guess I'm not going to say anymore.
The final one is no, I will not.
No.
Give
You shouldn't. I want you to, but you shouldn't.
Just message it over to me, Marissa.
I think I'm going to go 3 because if I don't go 3, then I have to bid 5 to get the next one without knowing what it is, which would mean I only have 1 turkey left over. So without knowing which one's better, I will go 3, which means that if you take this one, then I will have a few more turkeys left over.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to take this one. I'll take it. 4.
Okay.
All right, sold to Sheil. I was only going to say that the final one was a chat submission, that it was none of yours, but
that's dangerous.
Okay.
Or it could be great.
Not a bad one. It's a good one. Washington football team has more turnovers than red zone conversions.
I'll take that.
1.
Okay. 2.
All right, so any type of turnover, so a special teams turnover would count also.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
And a red zone conversion. Okay. Whatever shows up in the box score, right? Yeah.
Which is a touchdown. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
All
All right. I'll take that.
Yeah, that's a good
What
one.
a round.
Okay with that. All right.
These
Wow.
past 2 weeks have been exhilarating.
So
We've really injected, whoever's submitting them, Dennis, and last week they have. I mean, I did get multiple comments. Like I was on, friends were texting me on my all-time swooper. Like people last week, everybody. That really was an amazing wrinkle.
Zach finally bid the 1. By the way, I don't know if you paid attention.
I did.
To that.
I was proud of him. I didn't want to comment. I'm scared of him in this state, so I didn't want to comment on it.
That's okay. Look. No, I hope I'm not coming off salty.
Zach, are you kidding? The people love this.
No,
So Zach,
you're into it.
Yeah.
Zach, you have that there are more 4th down conversions in the game than field goals made.
I like that one.
You have 1 team finishes with a prime number of points scored.
No idea if that's going to happen, but okay.
You have Jalen Hurts is the Eagles' leading rusher, and Casey Toohill has more tackles and sacks than Ryan Kerrigan, and
that's
sacks
a
count as 2.
That's
You have
a good
1.
list, Zach.
That's a good list.
You easily could win this.
I recognize that. I just
Yeah.
I went against my strategy, which was the reason I didn't bid on the Dennis submission is because I wanted to have turkeys late in the game to come up with some of those cheap ones later. I like the discount shopping.
The cheap ones weren't that great.
When I mid game here, when I didn't bid Sheil up, I said, all right, I need to bid up to get people out of their turkeys.
And I think you were just on tilt from the quick from what you perceived to be the quick sold on.
Yeah, it was like a Howie Roseman overcorrection, right? Like I overcorrected it in the middle. And
wait, am I Howie Roseman?
What's that?
No, he is.
No, I am. Yeah.
Okay.
I am Howie there. So, but look, I'm proud of the group that I'm bringing in the Sunday, and we'll do our best to try to win here. So,
Ryan in the chat said we need to confirm that it is 1 team.
Yeah, it said 1.
The language is 1. No, so he's saying if both teams do it, does that not count? That still counts because the language is 1 team does
at least 1. Yeah,
right. Yeah. Sheil has.
Thank you though for clarifying. Ryan has been listening from the beginning. So, I think he's a minion, right? So as he's declared himself a minion, but he can still make sure that it's fair.
Yeah.
All right.
Yes, he DM'd me to say that he wanted to have a gentleman's bet on the outcome of the Wake Rutgers game, and at first I read it as a Gettleman's bet, which I don't know.
What's Gettleman's bet?
I don't know.
That would mean like
loser does an Oklahoma drill or.
It's like 11:30 tomorrow's that kick, right? That's an early kick.
Which running back underperforms? Which hyped under? I don't know.
Yeah.
There's
so
nothing great.
we'll see how it goes. Go
right.
Deeks. Sheil has the game is played as scheduled at 1 p.m. A punt is downed more than 10 yards away from where it first lands on the field.
I like that one. I feel like that happens often. Raker, get your butt out of there. You don't need to be fielding those punts.
Riverboat Ron is mentioned on the broadcast, and Javon Hargrave has more sacks than Jonathan Allen.
If you guys talk to Hargrave tomorrow, let him know that there's a highly read all-pro team that's going to be coming out on the Athletic, like more important than the other ones you see. Hargrave and Allen could both be guys in the running. There's going to be a lot of important eyes on this game Sunday, so it's important to make a strong impression.
And Javon, the best way for you to get onto that team is by picking up the referee and throwing him right at the coin toss, thereby delaying the start of the game by 4 minutes.
Yeah, you're like, you need something that helps your brand. It doesn't always have to be positive. Some people think you're
any press
soft.
is good press.
Yeah.
I have Bosco as the leading rusher in the game, not just for the Eagles. I have the Eagles clinch. Jalen Hurts rushes for 50 or more yards in the game, and there are more Washington football turnovers than red zone conversions.
A part of me,
it's an interesting one.
There are a lot of gettable ones, I feel, this week.
A part of me would like Bo to win. So we go into week 18. All
square.
Winner take all, right? Like that.
Be exciting.
It would be a little sad to some degree if we were all tied entering week 18, but then there was the playoffs, so it wasn't just the regular season. But
if we are all tied going into week 18, do we have Dennis do all 12 submissions? I mean, we have the opportunity.
I'm so down.
For a person who teaches game theory at Penn, who is a listener, to make this exciting. I don't know, that might be a nice option. We can discuss it if it happens, I guess.
I love that idea. Love
it too.
Sorry, Dennis. I know Dennis always says, why are you giving me more work? But that's what happens when you become king of the sickos.
I wouldn't sleep all week, right?
Hashtag Dennis number.
I'd be doing a deep dive on, exactly. All of a sudden, I tell my editor no stories. I'm calling professors from different universities to learn about, learn more game theory.
Zach shows up to Dennis's class with like a box of pastries or something, butters him up.
That's good.
They're doing virtual class. I'm still there in person. Right?
Shows up at Dennis's house.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that'll do it for
predictions.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Crystal Ball Diggle. There's a game to play. Well, we're 90 minutes in. I figured it was time to wrap it up. I totally forgot.
Line, I think, has dropped to 3.5, I believe.
3.5. Wow.
I wrote about it.
A neutral field toss-up.
Yeah, I think I can go first. I think it's going to be, I don't know which way it's going to go, honestly. It wouldn't surprise me if it's a blowout, but I guess we have to choose. So I'm going to choose, there's some things that make me nervous, specifically Jalen Hurts' ankle, and then the running back injuries. Like, are they going to be able to run the ball as effectively as they did last time? Maybe not. I'm still not completely sold on this defense, even though I think the Washington offense is garbanzo beans. This just has my gut is almost always wrong, so this is probably not what's going to happen, but my gut tells me this is going to be one of those ugly NFC East games where it just is closer than we expect. So I'm going to take Washington to cover, Eagles to win, Eagles 23, Washington 20. Well, that's a prime number. I said it without thinking. All right.
I can go. I'm with you. This game worries me from an Eagles perspective. It's like it feels too easy, but I think they are going to get it done. I think it is going to be ugly. I worry about Washington coming off that just embarrassment, and the game 2 weeks ago was too easy. However, I think they'll find a way on offense. I think this will be a good test. I mean, it's sort of pathetic that this is as good of a test as the defense has faced in a while, but it'll be an interesting test of the defense. I'm going to say that, let's see, Jonathan Allen has a couple sacks, but it doesn't matter in the game. Ryan Kerrigan makes a game-winning tip, which is not a tackle, but still it's something that Zach can potentially write about. Maybe it's a 4th down, so it takes away a 4th down conversion that he was hoping for. And Jalen Hurts doesn't run all game until the last play of the game when he fakes downing it and then runs 51 yards to ice the game. And the Eagles win 19-13. Prime number for you.
There you go. I like the Eagles in this game. I like the Eagles clinching the playoffs. I think the scenario happens. The 1 o'clock, the 4 o'clock, the night game all works in the Eagles' favor.
The Eagles are the least likely of those 3 things, right?
Yes, but I don't want to put too much stock into one game. What I saw from Washington last week was really bad and compounding what's happened in recent weeks there. I just don't think this is a team that's this is obvious that they're not peaking at the right time, right? So I like the Eagles winning this. I don't think it's going to be a total blowout. I think the Eagles are going to have to a muck and grind, if you will, to use the hockey term, on offense. But I am going with Eagles 23, Washington 19.
Wow, a double prime number.
Yes. And nice. Ryan Kerrigan gets a sack and a half. Actually, no. Ryan Kerrigan gets a – I want Casey Tuhill to get yeah. He's going up against Lane Johnson, who's like as pissed off as could be right now. So that's a tough thing. But you know what? Tackle's in there. So the Eagles run the ball to that side. Casey Tuhill. I need Casey Tuhill to do the old Hugh Douglas trick where he jumps at the end of the play to try to get the half a sack. Yeah, do that for every tackle. Let's get the half a tackles here. But in all seriousness, I think the Eagles win, and I think the Eagles clinch the playoffs. And it'll be an interesting podcast on Sunday night.
Ryan Kerrigan gets a sack. Zach writes about it. It wins. Story of the year. It makes Peter King's Monday morning column. There's a note in our Slack on The Athletic, just wanted to give a shout out to this tremendous, and he is validated for our earlier discussion.
All right, I gotta go to the bathroom far more than Swooper.
And the kicker to the story is that in the post-game locker room, Ryan Kerrigan gets a congratulatory text from George Karlaftis.
From one Eagle to the next, right?
Yeah. All right. That'll do it for this episode of Birds with Friends. Thank you, everybody, for listening. We will be around with a post-game pod on Sunday. So looking forward to that. Potentially, we'll see how the first game goes for the first two, the 1 o'clock and 4 o'clock windows go. And if it looks like the Eagles are in position to clinch with the Packers win, maybe we'll time the post-game pod so that we can be live when that happens. So just pay attention to our social media, and we'll talk to you. Thanks for listening. Read Zach's story, read Sheil's story.
Read Post story.
If you haven't already. And follow Sheil on Instagram. For Sheil, Zach, Marissa, and Elijah, I'm Bo. And as always, we love you.